So, you got your first wedding gig. Congratulations. Now, the real work begins. Let's talk about it. You want to know how you can go about shooting your first wedding? I remember a while back, many moons ago, um, getting my first wedding booking and doing a lot of Googling on YouTube, and finding out what preparation I need, what are must haves and must nots, njalo njalo, what's the best way. The main problem, something which I didn't know at the time before shooting my first wedding, and mainly the reason why I'm making this video, is that a lot of content is Western. Um, that in and of itself isn't a big problem, but you find Uguti cultures there are different. So that means Uguti, the way weddings are done there isn't the same as we do it at Imzansi. So let me give an example. Something called popular in America is called a first viewing. Yeah? It's called a first viewing. So basically, what happens is right before the ceremony, the groom will get a chance to see the bride in a wedding dress. So typically, what happens, from what I understand, is that we'll go to a secluded place or somewhere, and then it's like a whole thing. Maybe they'll face each other back to back. Maybe they'll wear blindfolds, or maybe they'll close their eyes, and then they'll turn around and be like, wow, it's a thing. So I remember preparing for that. Okay, thinking, oh, okay, taking my notes. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no face viewing. I remember meeting the couple. I met with the groom at the time, and then talking to him about, okay, and then this program, what's happening, when's the first viewing. And I was like, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Now this video hopefully comes not hopefully, this video gives a local South African experience, especially if you're going to be shooting traditional weddings as well. Let's get right into it. First thing you need to do before anything is formally meet with the couple. The most ideal way for you to do that would be face to face, at a coffee shop, whatever your situation is. But in the day and age we're in, it's very likely to happen that that's not as feasible, because in Mhlawumbi the person might be across in another town, in another province, and so meeting face to face might not be a feasible thing. And so what you actually might consider doing is doing it via an online call. WhatsApp is great with their video calls, but the main thing is getting to know each other and having the discussion, having expectations. If there are expectations of the types of shots that are wanted, I want this shot, I want this type of thing. That's where you'll get a good grasp of what is expected from you, and then you can take it from there. Location scouting, very important. Again, you might not be able to go to the venue physically in the event that it's too far from you, it's in another town, wada. So what do you do? Thank goodness for Google. You have Google it. You might find that other photographers have covered events in that particular venue. Maybe use their pictures for reference. Okay, lighting here is like this, windows are like this, this person here could light a lot of window lighting, flash lighting, jalo, so on and so forth. Just do your due diligence, do your research, so you can find out as much as you can about the venue. As part of your research, you need to make a short list. This might be more useful to an unseasoned person and you don't want to panic or worry about things going wrong. Definitely making a short list will help. Will help you. Within your short list, you're just basically planning key shots that you know that you need to cover. So key moments of the wedding, the ceremony, portraits, guests, details like wedding rings, flowers, that type of thing. Also, if you do your own research in terms of like putting together something from, or if you put a mood board together or inspo from Pinterest or something like that, that can serve as a shortlist. And yeah, the more preparation you do, the better your final outcome will be. Up until this point, most of the event coverage that I've talked about, I would emphasize what you need three things, yeah, which would typically be your body, lighting, and lenses, right? So again, those are the three things that you need to cover a wedding. But with your body, I would recommend Uti, if you can, push to get two bodies, two cameras by that. You are going to be using multiple lenses, separate types of lenses. I remember at some point, I would shoot a wedding. Oh, I remember at some point I shot a wedding with prime lenses. I used to shoot events with prime lenses, and so my go-to prime lenses was the 24mm and the 15mm, and so it would help to have that on two bodies so that you can switch, cut, 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 cut. If you don't have two bodies, what other people do is you have another fellow photographer shooting with you. Weddings, typically it's very demanding. Also, with the preparation, you may want to have one of the photographers follow the groom party, and then the other one follow the bridal party. So two bodies or two photographers, that's the type of thing. If you can't pull off two bodies, work with what you have. When it comes to lenses, most ideal zoom lens, but if you're working with two bodies, you can get away with a prime lens and a zoom lens. Prime lens like 50mm will be good for portraits, and then zoom lens will be good for your general candid shots of the event that's happening. And thirdly, most importantly, is your lighting. Unless you are shooting at an outdoor venue, by that I mean, yeah, outdoor, so maybe we'll be shooting at a beach, but basically a place that doesn't have like coverage, is ceiling, then you might not need, or you might not be able to set up lighting. Then you will have to shoot with the natural lighting that's outside. But most times you'll be shooting in a church or in a hall, that type of thing, so you need to have your flash. There's no pressure on this one. Whatever lighting you have, whatever flash you have, will get the job done. But again, it's those three things. It's your body, your lens, and your lights. Yeah, well, the basics stay the same. On top of that, a wedding goes for a long time. Typically, you're shooting anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 hours, maybe even to 12 hours. Sometimes you can go over multiple days. Can be a part one, part two type of thing. So what you want to do is you need to be able, as much as possible, carry multiple memory cards. Don't want to be there and you are shooting and then your thing runs out of storage. You need to have multiple memory cards. Those are very important. Same story with batteries. If you run out of battery power and then cheeky, no one's gonna wait for you to charge your battery. The ceremony must go on, so get extra batteries. For me, I'm a big fan of generic batteries. I find they work just as well as these generic batteries. I find they work just as well as the original batteries for a fraction of the cost. If you got the budget to get original batteries for your body, by all means go for it. But yeah, extra memory cards, extra batteries. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Standard, arrive early. Arrive early. You want to get the bridal preparation, you want to get the groom preparation, especially the more, show my bias here, but the more important person typically will be the bride. So if you don't have a two-man team, then a two-man team would one maybe go focus on the bride, then the other one will go focus on the groom, and then you switch. Especially if you're working with different lenses. So be one that's shooting with the one that's shooting on a prime lens, and then the other one's shooting with a zoom lens. You split up and then go get the pictures and then switch again, yeah, well, so that you have a good balance. But if you're not working two-man, you're working solo, that's fine. Get there nice and early, get the bride, get the groom. Most important is the bride. If you're working solo, what I do recommend is when you start early, start with the groom party. The gents typically change quickly, they get their life sorted very quickly, and as such you can get there early, push them to get dressed, get them done out of the way quick, sorted. You don't have to worry about them until the beginning of the ceremony. Go back to the bridal party, you'll find they'll be doing makeups, hairs, eyelashes, wada, they'll be taking hours. So once you get the gents out of the way, then you can focus on the bridal party. Get their pictures, get the makeup behind the scenes, get the dress, get the also on the note of dresses, don't forget to ask for the rings. Take a nice picture, maybe do a flat lay, do a picture with the invitation, make it nice. After that, make sure you find the MC or whoever is responsible for the schedule or the program. You need to be on top of it. You need to be second in command to the master of ceremony in terms of if there's a change in what's happening, you need to know so that you can be on top of it, so that you don't get left behind, so that you don't miss. Wedding bells. The ceremony begins. So the ceremony, try not to be intrusive, don't get in the way. Helps a lot if you have zoom lenses. You want to shoot more, you want to be a sniper there more than you want to shoot with wide lenses and get up in there. So with the zoom lens, you'll be able to capture detail from afar. Very important, get candid shots. Don't get carried away with getting portraits, post portraits of the people there. You just want to make sure you get candid shots as well. Capture the emotion. There'll be tears. There'll be tears. There'll be from the parents, from the bride, from the groom. Make sure you get all those moments. Those will be very important. There'll be no pressure. Enjoy it. Have fun. Most importantly is to ensure that you have a successful wedding, in that you do your job properly. Just be in communication. Communicate with the couple as much as possible so that you are always on top of the ball. Communicate with the wedding planner if there's a wedding planner involved, or if there's an MC, and then there's a standard procedure in that there's preparation, there's a ceremony, and then there's the reception. But the most important thing is that you just need to communicate with your couple, with your client, and so that you are on the same page. And other than that, it will be fine. Let's talk about common mistakes, rookie mistakes you want to avoid. As I said earlier, do not rely, as much as possible, try not to rely on one body. Try to have a backup. If you don't have a second body, maybe try to have someone that you can rely on that will be on standby in case something goes wrong. Same goes with your footage. Please ensure to back up your footage immediately after the wedding. You will finish a wedding with 800 photos from your memory card. Please back it up immediately. It will happen. If you don't, that you will accidentally delete footage or lose footage. because you didn't back it up, and then you format a memory card and it's a whole thing. You can't redo a wedding. It's not like a photo shoot. Please back up your footage immediately. Stay hydrated, man. Stay nourished. My rule for any gig, if I'm shooting XN, if I'm shooting in the afternoon, whenever I'm shooting, try to have a big meal regardless of whether or not the event is catered. You don't know if you're catered for, and you're there to work. You're not a guest. Don't go there expecting to be catered for unless it's there in your contract. Unless it's there in your contract and you be like, hey, if I don't get catered for, I will delete these pictures. But for the most part, you are being paid to work, so it's very possible for you to not be catered for. Make sure that you are nourished, eat your food, pack a lunch. I know I do. And anything else on top of that, bubube. And yeah, have fun. Otherwise, that being said, if you're coming from your first wedding shoot, how was it? If you're a veteran again and you would like to add or disagree with what I said, down there. Otherwise, I will see you guys on the next one. Ciao.